Hello and welcome to the Scum and Villainy Report. So today we're going to do something a little different. Some of you have been asking for a bit of a deep dive into certain topics. Today, we're going to do the first video in this new series. First up, China. The world's second largest economy is facing a demographic crisis that could reshape its future. With an aging population and a shrinking workforce, the country's pension system is on the brink of major reform, and the consequences could affect not just China, but the entire global economy. Let's take a closer look at what's happening and why it matters. To understand the issue, let's start with the numbers. China's population is aging faster than almost any other country in the world. By 2040, nearly 30% of China's population will be over the age of 60. That's over 400 million people. This chart shows the sharp rise in China's elderly population, driven by decades of rapid economic growth and the one-child policy. That policy, which began in 1979 and was only officially relaxed in 2016, has left the country with a shrinking base of young workers. The birth rate in 2022 fell to a record low of just 6.77 births per 1,000 people. So, how does this affect China's pension system? China operates a pay-as-you-go pension system, where current workers contribute funds to retirement of current retirees. But here's the problem. There are fewer and fewer workers to support more and more retirees. In 1990, China had about 8 workers for every retiree. Today, that number dropped to just over 5. And by 2050, it's expected to fall just to 2. That's 2 workers for every retiree. This shrinking ratio puts enormous pressure on the pension system, as fewer workers must support a growing number of retirees. The government has responded by gradually raising the retirement age, which currently stands at 60 for men and 50 or 55 for women. But even with these changes, the strain on the system is growing. To make matters worse, China's pension funds are running out of money. In 2020, China's national pension fund had a deficit of 700 billion yuan. That's about 100 billion US dollars. Without major reforms, this shortfall could balloon well over 10 trillion yuan by 2050. To cover this gap, the government is tapping into reserves, but these are depleting fast. By some estimates, China's pension reserves could be exhausted within 15 years. This raises serious concerns about whether the government can continue to provide for its aging population. Beyond the pension system, this demographic shift is impacting China's overall economy. With fewer workers entering the labor force, China's economic growth has slowed. The country's GDP growth, which averaged over 10% per year from 2000 to 2010, has since fallen to about 5%. And as the population ages, consumer spending is also shifting. Older populations tend to save more and spend less, which could further slow down economic growth. This could create a vicious cycle. A weaker economy means less tax revenue, making it even more difficult for the government to fund pensions and other social services. So, what can China do to avoid this pension crisis? The government has already started encouraging private pensions and increasing retirement savings through individual accounts. But there's a long way to go. Some experts suggest raising the retirement age further, reducing pension benefits, or increasing taxes on workers to fund the system. Others believe China needs to do more radical overhaul, such as moving to a fully funded pension system where individuals save for their own retirement. But these changes won't be easy. Raising the retirement age is deeply unpopular, especially in a country where many people retire early due to physically demanding jobs. And increasing taxes on workers could slow the economy even further. What happens in China doesn't stay in China. A pension crisis could have a ripple effect across the globe. China's financial markets could be hit, consumer demand could fall, and the country's slowing economy could impact global supply chains and trade. This is especially concerning given China's central role in the global economy as a manufacturing hub and a key trading partner for many countries. In conclusion, China's pension system is at a crossroads. The country must act quickly to address its aging population and the financial strain on its pension system. The decisions made in the next few years will determine whether China can avoid a full-blown crisis, and the world will be watching. Well, that's all I got for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos on global issues.